Welcome back to the channel, YouTube. I appreciate you guys for joining me. I got a good one for you. But before we get into this video and what it's about, I want you guys to subscribe, hit that like button, make sure you hit that bell so that way you're notified whenever we drop any more content like this. So today we're going to be looking at some conspiracy theories. Whether they're true or not, that's for you to decide. So without further ado, with that being said, let's get into this video.
Allah Akbar, 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 Allah Akbar.
Their stories. Listen to their
Yeah, I wonder what that was.
Creep on in, on in, on in.
Hey y'all, check it. Look how deep the water go. They just showing you how deep they went. The water is way deeper. Get it? Look at this. Oh my God. Watch this.
Me watching this in horror, still not understanding why anyone would go down this far to see the Titanic. Yeah, I don't understand that neither, because I wouldn't be going down there.
And guess what, guys? It's still going. Get it?
Hey, how many of y'all would go down there to see the Titanic? Not me. We seen what happened with that submarine or whatever it was that imploded, quote unquote. Yeah. Why they got that scary music in the background, right?
Yeah, who goes that deep though? You see the caption? This is just as scary. It's out of space. And it's music. It's still going. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh.
That's crazy deep.
Stop. Look at that. Oh my God.
Imagine everything that's down there as far as like types of fish that haven't been discovered, ships,
Hey, look. Oh.
bodies.
Still going. It's still going. Oh my God. That's it, right? That's not it. Oh my. Oh no. Oh no. That should be about it. Yeah. That's not it. That should be it. Oh. This is all they just go so far. There's more out there. That's crazy.
It was the Mariana Trench. That's crazy deep.
Alright, so check this out. They put all of the hidden information in these kids' movies. They're telling us, you guys just have to look. So we all know the rat story in the Ice Age movies. He's always going for the nuts, right? He finds Scat Atlantis or Rat Atlantis or something like that, right?
The greed of an outsider leads to destruction of Atlantis. Look at the acorns as if it were ancient forbidden knowledge.
They put the truth is always in the details, hidden within.
Acorn here could be forbidden ancient knowledge.
Be more than a rodent, you know. Be more than a human. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever.
He looks anyway and sees the truth.
The greed and power.
This acorn is floating over the waters, above the waters, and guess where it fell to?
Money hungry, lust for power. Keep watching.
The waters fell to earth, losing their heavenly connections from the heavens. What if Atlantis was a place located in the waters above the firmament?
They say they put stuff in these movies in front of us. Now, what if that was true? So that's pretty much saying that Atlantis was above the firmament, and all the water, which they say could have been a flood. Just, yo, that's crazy. Like, what if that? What do you guys think about that? What if that's what happened? That's pretty interesting.
Tipo, es que debe ser un metal grande o un espejo, no sé por qué.
No, claro, porque se dio filete en negro.
Porque para que rebote de esa forma, claro, ¿cachai? Eso no es una linterna, ya cachamos que no es una linterna. El rebote. ¿Cachai? Yo alumbro para allá.
It's like that's why we'll throw little things out there like that just to see if they'll catch on to it and how many people will catch on to it so people can see it. But it's like sometimes I start to think like the hip-hop audience ain't that intelligent sometimes, you know, but they don't pick up on it because they let the corniest shit get the most airplay, you know what I mean? The most unconscious shit get the most airplay. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
The government.
Yeah, and then run up on me talking about keep it real. Don't run up on me say keep it real if you ain't supporting the real. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line.
The government brainwash our people with the mind control theory. That's what they do. So they make sure our people like it. They keep playing that same song. The same song keep playing, you're going to start to like it. You start to get probed with it. You start to get cloned with it. So then for the clone exists, then it just takes over. It takes over the human body. It takes over the spirit. It takes over the soul. And therefore, behold, that's what you got. That's why dirty is here for. Dirty here just to keep it dirty. Dirty, 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 where we all come from. You know what I mean? You can't forget that and keep running up into astrology and trying to run up into to the moon and to the Mars and build these cities, you know, that already been built for trillions of years.
All day, bastard.
Jesus.
What y'all think about that? Like ODB was like, was he foreseeing some stuff? Did he know something? I mean, he was speaking facts, and it is true that the music that they pump is not conscious. It doesn't really have any meaning to it. At least not now or anymore. Okay, you think about it, what do we got now? Lil Nas X, Lil Uzi Vert, Ice Spice, Sexy Red, Lotto, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't really talking about nothing. I mean, you like it, hey, that's fine, but me personally, I just can't listen to it. And then it's bad enough, you know, when you're scrolling through or flipping through, you hear it like every other video. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's so repetitive, over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's crazy.
Jesus' life is a process that happens in the body. Your brain's the Garden of Eden, the pineal gland is the throne of God and the gateway to heaven. The Pope's staff represents the spine and the two Kundalini channels and the pineal gland. Salvation is salt. The brain produces a salt, a fluid which goes down the spine, which you must resurrect through your erectional energy back to the head, which is Resh, the Hebrew of the head. By following the word of God, following your inner guide, you save your salt and you raise it. Once you do this, you then have the key into the kingdom of heavens, the realms beyond the physical, to access the dimensions within your mind. Also the Holy Grail, or the power symbol. In the Vatican you have the pine cone, and this is the head. There's the Pope holding the pine cone. We are all God. There is no God outside of you. Everything is God. All religions were made to make you look outside yourself so that you can become powerless. Comment book to learn more about consciousness.
Andrew Dawson filmed what he claimed was a giant on top of a mountain in Jasper National Park in Alberta, Canada. In the following days, he tried to get closer to find and film the creature, but in the process claimed to be stopped, harassed, followed, and stalked by the CIA. He then stops posting videos for over a month, and when he returns, uploads an update video that is extremely strange, and viewers pointed out that it seemed like it was forced. His next video that he uploads would be his last, because a month and a half later, sadly, tragedy struck. That's a brief overview of this strange saga. I just uploaded a full-length video documenting this on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, that was a crazy story right there. If you guys haven't heard it, you know, he was driving and ended up seeing what he thought, or what he says was like a giant on top of a mountain. I guess him being so far away from it and it being so big, that's what he considered it to be, a giant. You know what I'm saying? He did that video when he was standing against the wall and he was looking over, you know what I'm saying? People were saying that he was being coerced or coaxed, you know what I'm saying, coerced to say whatever he was saying, or to give that little his little story, whatever it was he was saying. And it does look like somebody was like, hey, say this. Hey, watch what you say. You know what I'm saying? And then he's being watched too. It's crazy. And then he ended up unalived. It's crazy. I just find it crazy how when people see things or they have something to say and it doesn't go with what the uppers or whoever it is don't want us to know, these people tend to get, you know what I mean? It's like, do we tell our truths or do we just keep it hidden? You know, you run the risk of, if you tell your truth. And I think that's kind of wrong. Let me know what you guys think. If that's an axe, that's a big ass axe.
TikTok family, have you guys seen this? So supposedly this guy went outside to take his trash out at night. He looks up in the sky and he sees this, which appears to be a giant in the sky eating food, looking up in the sky. I'm not sure what the location of this was, but this was said to just be clouds that look like this. But have you ever seen clouds?
Look at that.
This much
Nose,
detail, look like
eyes,
a human being standing up.
Mouth, chin,
Again,
hands.
we will never, ever, ever,
elbow.
ever get the truth.
That's crazy.
But I just wanted you guys to check it out and tell me what you think in the comments.
Yeah, that's
Again,
crazy,
I give you
right?
the news that they don't want to talk about.
What is the government so afraid of? The U.S. Navy sets off a 40,000-pound bomb in the Atlantic Ocean, 100 miles from the coast of Florida, saying that it was only a military exercise. However, looking at the footage of the explosion, it definitely didn't seem like a regular military exercise. Furthermore, it's known that there are unknown creatures or aliens living deep in the ocean. So, could it be possible that it wasn't a military exercise, but a cover-up to take out a deadly threat in the ocean? With this suspicious military exercise, many are asking,
Hey, so the previous clip, have you guys ever seen like clouds form such a distinctive look? You know what I'm saying? Like it looks like somebody, like we all see the clouds, and you play the cloud game where you look, hey, this cloud looks like this cloud looks like that. But I've never, especially at night, never seen anything like that. Have you guys ever seen anything like that? Let me know down in the comments.
Symbolism will be their downfall. Or is it just art? And let me be the first to tell you, it's all connected. I mean, if you know, you know. But first, let's go back to that video of Ellen DeGenerate. When the camera turns, you can see the inside of her house. Now, see that picture right there? Well, if you pause it and look it up, it says evil thoughts with revenge right next to it. Here's another picture of Ellen in her house, and this is the picture behind her. Now, the thing I'm curious about is the letters on top of the picture. These look oddly similar to the letters Marina Abramovich writes out when she does spirit cooking. Remember the beginning of the video? It's all connected. And that person that was in all red is Lady Gaga, and she went to Marina Abramovich many times for teaching. But let's continue. This is another picture of Ellen in her home. She's cutting her mother's hair, but what is that picture above her head?
So what's her name? Whatever her name is, Brahma, whatever it is. What is she teaching? Like, who is she? I've heard of her, but I don't know like what she does. The only way I've heard her because I just seen her in that video with like that Jay-Z, I think it was. Like, what does she do? Is she teaching up some like satanic type stuff? Is it like what is she doing? Let me know in the comments if y'all know what she does, like what it is that she's known for.
Mira, ve, lo que tu ojo no ve, el monocular te lo enseña. Mira, ya caché en la nieve. Debe estar unos 5 kilómetros de distancia, más o menos, o más. Mira, los monitos que se ven ahí. Y si le hacemos zoom aquí, vamos a ver un poquito más cerca. Mira. Ahí están. ¿Qué te parece? El potencial de
¿Sabes dónde están? ¿En Misery Hill? ¿Misery qué?
En la Misery Hill, creo. Sí, casi está en la cima. Casi está ahí en la punta.
Digo, aunque tenga muy buena vista, yo no puede ver.
No.
No, porque sí se ven como hormiguitas.
Pero tú no se alcanza a ver con el ojo.
No.
Estás hablando de 9 kilómetros de distancia.
No, estoy intentando y no, nada, o sea.
What do y'all think that was? Was that a giant? What was he preparing for? That's crazy. He looked pretty big to me. Now that looked like a giant.
We look at their rockets. This is how they claim they get into outer space, is these rockets. Their rockets never go straight up. Every single rocket launch from a government space agency, you'll notice, follows a parabolic curve. It goes up, it reaches a peak, but what they do is as the rocket starts coming back down, they make sure that it goes down over the ocean, out of the way of any curious observers. Anyone can see it coming back down to Earth, asks, hey, how come the rocket's not going up anymore? Well, it's going around the curvature of the Earth, is what they tell us. So every single rocket, the reason that it follows a parabolic curve, they say, is because it's going around the curvature of the Earth. The real reason is they can't get up any higher than that. They tell us that the Earth is a sphere. They show us pictures of a sphere, of a circle. It's a perfect circle. And then they come out and they say, well, it's actually an oblate spheroid. Oh, what's that? Well, it's a sphere that's flattened at both poles, so it's more of an oval shape. It actually bulges out south of the equator, as well as being flattened at the poles. So it's more pear-shaped.
So it's not actually a sphere. It's oblate. And officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator. A little chubbier. A little chubbier. Yeah. Chubby's a good word. It's like pear-shaped.
So now it's pear-shaped. So why are all of these official NASA photos and videos showing perfect spheres when it's actually an oblate spheroid or a pear-shaped spheroid? They can't get their story straight. And the reason they keep changing it is that to fit the model, they have to change the shape of the Earth. South of the equator is larger than north of the equator because lines of longitude that just extend outwards, they don't contract back. So they can see that in their pair model. They say, well, the side bulges out south of the equator. It's bigger south of the equator. Yeah, it is, because it's flat. But instead of admitting that, they just make tweaks to their model as time goes on. They say that the ball Earth tilts back 23.5 degrees. That's another tweak they made because we can see Polaris, which is right over the North Pole, from 23.5 degrees south latitude. Shouldn't be able to see that on a ball. So they just tilt the Earth back and then okay, now you can see it. And so they come up with explanations in reverse like this. Damage control, reverse engineered explanations.
Sitting in water up there. And when you go into, when you educate yourself on our tribes, our oral traditions and stuff that we learn within our tribes, you learn that these are frequencies up there. They're not planets, but they're pronounced planet, a frequency, a dimension. The stars that we see that are twinkling, those are called luminaries. They're watchers. They're called the watchers in scripture and oral history. That's what they're called. They're literally like different angels in the different 13 realms of heaven. The ones that don't blink, that are just plain, those are called the wandering stars. Those are planets or dimensions. They're literally gods that they used to worship back then. Mars, Marduk, Saturn, Saturnalius, and so on and so forth, to the 9 lower realms. So when you go into the oral history of our culture, you learn this, and you learn that these are dimensions of the 9 lower realms, which are bad energies or frequencies that they used to worship and do sacrificing.
And when you speak about your culture, your office. So now we know the fraternity lied about Caleb Wilson's death. Who's going to be held accountable? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me give you a quick rundown. Caleb Wilson lost his life trying to pledge for a college fraternity. The reports were that Caleb Wilson, along with other people trying to pledge for Southern University's Omega Psi Phi fraternity, were all standing in the line when Caleb randomly passed out. But the truth is, they lied about where this took place and what really happened. First part of the lie, they said they was in a park, standing. Caleb passed out. That was a lie. Come to find out, they were in an abandoned warehouse. And guess what happened? They were repeatedly punching the pledges in the chest. You heard what I just said, right? They were repeatedly punching the pledges in the chest. Quick question. What does being punched in the chest have to do with joining a fraternity? And basically, when Caleb got hit in his chest, he fell to the ground and had a seizure. Now, the most sinister part of this whole thing is, after Caleb was taken to the hospital and pronounced unalive, those same pledges and pledgers went to a different location and concocted a story together so nobody wouldn't get in trouble for Caleb Wilson's unaliving. Now, my question to you is, what does being punched in the chest have to do with joining a fraternity?
Nothing.
Now, fraternities are great, but this initiation, pledging, seems like some sort of violent initiation for a gang, something of that nature. If you have kids in college, if you have loved ones in college who plan on pledging, you need to tap in with them and pay attention to what's going on, because that ain't nice. That's not right at all. It's crazy.
As someone
that did sound like a gang initiation. And quick question. How come fraternities are considered gangs? A group of people, they fly colors, initiations. I mean, that's a gang to me, right? That sounds like a gang to you, doesn't it? I don't know. I could be wrong. It sounds like a gang to me.
Who read the Book of Enoch and told you that mermaids are real and what they really are, I 100% believe that the elites are eating mermaids, and I've actually been telling you this. When I say the elites, the reptiles, the real fallen angels that fell from heaven and became these diabolical Anunnaki, ancient Mesopotamia, Book of Enoch grifters, They exist. You are not on the side of TikTok where there was a gentleman who claimed he went to a dinner party where they unveiled they would eat mermaids and tried to get him to eat them. And when he went and tried to leave, he walked into a cupboard where he saw actual mermaids waiting to be eaten. You're missing out. Mermaids are in the book of Enoch, but they are the children of fallen angels and the angels that came to earth pretending to be God and actually mated with other species.
The Titanic.
Where are they finding these mermaids at? Like, where are they getting them from? If they got mermaids like that just to be laying around, waiting to be eaten, like, where are they getting them from? Like, where are they going to go fish to get these mermaids? I'll wait. Can one of y'all tell me in the comments? Where in the hell are they fishing to go get mermaids? Like, that's wild. Mermaids? And they eating them too? Like a delicacy?
Was a hit job. It was no accident or mistake that the Titanic sank in 1912. You think all the richest people in the world on the world's safest boat dying in a single boating crash was an accident? There's not a chance. Basically, all of the world's elites at the time had already purchased tickets and were scheduled to take this cruise together. You're talking about the Rothschilds, the JP Morgans, and Mr. Astor, who was the richest American at that time. He owned nearly 40% of every mortgage in America at that time. The story goes that the Rothschilds wanted to create a central bank, but Mr. Astor and many of his extremely rich friends, who basically controlled the country and all of its politicians, opposed the central banking system, and they would never allow a central bank in America. So when all the world's richest people boarded the ship right before the boat took off, the Rothschilds and JP Morgans all exited the ship just minutes before takeoff. So now all of the richest people who opposed the central banking system ended up dying from an iceberg. And now that all of the rich people who opposed it are dead and no longer paying or bribing all of their politicians ended up working for the Rothschilds and JP Morgans instead, who were still alive and able to bribe them without any opposition now. The very next year, in 1913, they started the Federal Reserve Bank with almost zero opposition. Crazy conspiracy theory or TikTok fact? Let me know your own thoughts in the comments.
Okay, it was just announced that Anne Hesh has passed away at the age of 53. Now, for those who recognize her, she was a big star in the 90s. But just a little background on the whole situation. About a week ago, she was seen driving her car very erratically through a neighborhood. And if you look at this photo right here, a bunch of people have circled that they believe that was alcohol, tiny little liquor bottles in the car. And what she did was she crashed her car into a random house in the neighborhood. The car was set on fire and she was inside the car and it burned. And basically what the news chopper that was covering the site caught was when they pulled her body from the car, she was completely wrapped from head to toe in this white bag / white sheet, and then that was strapped to the gurney. And for anyone who knows anything about car accidents or stuff like this, usually when they pull out the white bag or the black bag, it means that the person has deceased. And then the weirdest thing happened, which was also caught on camera and broadcasted live. She peels whatever it was, the bag, the sheet, off of herself and starts as you can see in this bottom corner, she starts trying to get off of the gurney. And at that point, the two firefighters, not EMT, firefighters start trying to put her, push her back down onto the gurney. And then at that point, she's loaded into an ambulance. Now, reports came out and said that she just passed away and that she was in a coma immediately after or following the crash, and that she sustained severe head injuries on site, and that she is brain dead, but her heart is still beating because she is on life support. I personally believe that conspiracy theories in matters of when people are unalived, are really sad and are just creepy on a whole nother level. But at this point, something 100% is not adding up. The woman was caught on camera trying to get up and move off of the gurney, and now reports are saying that she was in a coma immediately after the crash. Whatever it may be, rest in peace. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think.
Yeah, see, that's weird. Because I remember seeing that on the news or whatever it was, or TMZ or whatever it was, I saw it on. I remember seeing her, she was like covered up, head to toe, like in a white, I don't know, I guess you want to say a sheet, but she was like strapped in with like the little seatbelt things. And right when she got to the ambulance, she hopped up and set up. But then the doctor said she was in a coma like right after the accident. She looked like she was alert and alive to me. Could be something fishy with that one. Let me know what you guys think. You think something fishy was going on? Wasn't that was that Ellen DeGeneres' girlfriend or wife or something like that before? You know what they say about Ellen? Allegedly, she's the evil one.
One of Diddy parties.
Yeah, I've been in attendance.
Shot.
I've been in attendance. Not, hey, what the you smirking for?
I ain't seen that.
I've been in attendance.
He just asking regular questions.
I said I've been in attendance. I have been in attendance.
We never been. We just asking. We just
yeah. As soon as you asked, he said,
You had fun? I ain't seen that yet.
yeah, you did. Yeah, I had fun. Yeah, I mean, it was a party. I wasn't at one of them parties. I don't know.
We didn't say that about the party. What party you talking about?
Y'all smiling too much. I have been in attendance at a puff party. You know what I'm saying? I've been in attendance. Yeah, I went. Yeah. But I ain't, I don't know which party. The party I went to, it was girls turning up, you know what I'm saying? The regular, you know what I mean? Other celebrities.
Okay, I have
Well, that ain't Agent Will.
a spicy conspiracy theory for you today. And I'm just going to start out by saying it's a lot easier to control the masses and control the narrative around something through emotional manipulation. So you'll notice if something is considered a tragedy, it's like totally taboo to ask questions about it. Case closed, that's it. So if there's people in the comments that have a problem with this or calling me insensitive for talking about this, that's fine, because if it's true, that's the desired outcome. Anyways, this is the crew of the 1986 Challenger space shuttle mission. Infamously, on January 28, 1986, the space shuttle exploded right after takeoff. The disaster was broadcast on live television to 40 million viewers. Two men, Bob Eberling and Roger Boisjolly, worked tirelessly to warn NASA about an issue with the shuttle's O-rings, making calls and warning anyone that would listen going all the way back to October the prior year. They warned that if these O-rings were used on a launch on a day that was below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, that there would be a catastrophe. But of course, no one listened. Which automatically kind of makes me think they wanted the catastrophe to happen. Roughly 80 seconds after the launch, the shuttle exploded and all 7 crew members lost their lives. This is Judy Resnick, an engineer and pilot aboard the Challenger mission. In 2013, an eagle-eyed internet user found Judith Resnick, a law professor at Harvard Law School. Some people were a little taken aback by the identical name, age, and likeness, so they started digging. This is Michael J. Smith, also an engineer and pilot aboard the Challenger shuttle, who passed away that fateful day in 1986 at the age of 39 years old. This is Dr. Michael J. Smith, professor of engineering at the University of Wisconsin. This is Sharon Krista McAuliffe, arguably one of the most famous things about the Challenger mission. She was supposedly just a teacher that was picked at random to be one of the astronauts, which made it all the more tragic when she passed away due to the Challenger disaster in 1986. This is Sharon A. McAuliffe, also a law professor who received her degree shortly after the Challenger disaster. Dick Scobie was the commander of the mission. Here's Commander Dick Scobie next to Richard Scobie, the CEO of Cows and Trees. Here's his company's original logo. It's a cow, but it's not in a tree. It's strapped to a rocket, and gee, that jet stream kind of looks familiar. In fact, just in case I wasn't making it clear, the top picture is the Challenger ship shortly after exploding. So, you know, Astronauts Ronald McNair and Ellison Onizuka both passed away when the Challenger shuttle exploded. Miraculously, it was found out that they both had twin brothers, Carl McNair and Claude Onizuka. But ancestry searches were done for both Carl and Claude, and there was no birth records found. And the odds of 2 sets of identical twins in a crew of 7 are astronomical. But that's just a theory. Rest in peace to the crew of the Challenger space shuttle mission.
So do you guys think that they looked alike? You think those people really blew up on that space shuttle? Or you think it just went up in there empty?
There's a dinosaur in that building. It's trying to get out. But there's a tree blocking. I can only see the head. I saw like a mouth like this. I think it's some kind of Tyrannosaurus. Oh, look, there it is. There it is. Where is it at? I saw the top of the head right there. I swear. Look, you hear it's trying to get out. Oh, shit. It's a whole Tyrannosaurus. See? Look, there's the head right there. Oh, dang. Hold on, let me zoom in. Oh, look, there's the head. There's the head right there. Look. Look. I told you. Now it's hiding behind that tree, but it's trying to get out. I've been telling everybody that there's been dinosaurs locked up in that building for years. I've lived here for 2 years. I hear the noises at night. And finally, I think it broke the shackles and it's trying to get out of that building. Y'all saw it shake, right? I know I ain't the only one. Boy, get inside.
When I was in the Antarctic.
So y'all think that's real? Or you think that's cap, like a whole dinosaur in a neighborhood? In a neighborhood just there? That's kind of wild. Let me know what y'all think.
Base and I was going through the hallways, I could feel, so it was like these like rounded cement hallways, like so deep underground, all cement, and I could feel like the cool dampness of the air, which I've never experienced, like actually having a visceral experience. But man, what they're doing in that base, essentially what I saw was people basically strapped down to beds in rooms, and what it looked like, they were really all deformed, and it looked like they were doing experimentation to make some sort of like super soldier.
Whoa.
Like that was basically the vibe, but the experimentation was more so genetic experimentation, not necessarily with all on-planet genetics, if that makes sense. So they were using like other forms of extraterrestrial genetics to try and create sort of this human hybrid super soldier. And once again, it was just a lot of just low energy, torturous sort of vibes.
Super soldier, huh?
Disney was trying to tell us something. Look at the resemblance of the cartoon versus the real one.
You got the head, the shoulder, the arm, and then her body, her hip, and stuff like that. That's wild.
Disney signs you probably missed. In DuckTales, we see this poster in the back. Ask about Illuminati. Oh no. 101 Dalmatians? This sign right here.
Never seen that before.
Oh no. In The Lion King? Oh no. Who would do this? All of these references to 666. You see it here, you see it here. Oh no. This one's a stretch, but you can read that. Oh no, 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 no. You see Hans in the Wanted poster back here in Big Hero 6. That one's not bad.
Sources say they have removed several boxes of what is believed to be human remains. Sources say many, many people. This was a big operation. And get this, inside this business, a saw used to cut up bodies, it is believed. All taken away as evidence to the Wayne County Medical Examiner's Office, where it will be tested.
So how many of y'all still eating McDonald's? Some chicken nuggets? Some fries and burgers that don't mold or age? I'm just saying.
I went too deep. I went too deep. Have you heard of the prison planet theory? Well, guess who just learned about it? Yeah. I didn't sleep last night. I did not sleep last night, and if you keep watching this, you're probably not going to sleep either. So here I am minding my own business on Reddit when I found Escaping Prison Planet. And for the next 3 hours, I dove too deep. Here's the gist of it. Essentially, we're all trapped here on Earth. We're all trapped here, and everything we know about, like all the religions that believe in reincarnation, all these different things, yeah, we keep coming back to this Earth because there are astral beings that are harvesting our energy, and they are trapping us here. Sounds crazy, right? Sounds crazy. Well, let's get into the details. Apparently these beings that are controlling us are these reptilian beings that you always hear about. Well, let's dive into it, In Jainism and Hinduism, they have Nagas, half human, half serpent. The Aztec Empire talked about a serpent-like god that they called Quetzalcoatl. And don't tell me if I pronounced it right or wrong. I don't care, okay? Surely 2 instances, right? This is just a coincidence. African shamans talk about the Shitari, and it is a race of reptilian beings. The Hopi Indians in North America had the Sheti, which translates to snake brothers. Chinese, Japanese, and Korean legends all talk about the Kappa. And Gnostic texts, which if you don't know about the Gnostics, Gnosis just means knowledge, and basically what the Gnostics believed was after Christ died, you have to have particular knowledge that would save you. Well, the Gnostics, yeah, they believe in archons, which are parasitic entities that feed off of us. We're doing okay? We doing okay? So the question is why? What are these beings doing? Why are they here? Apparently, they have been involved from the foundations of human history in manipulating us, creating this soul trap, harvesting our energy. And what this theory proposes is essentially that light a tunnel that many people have talked about that have had near-death experiences or death experiences. Yeah, it's just to trick us, to essentially wipe us clean, send our souls back, and start the process again. So every major form of religion talks about how we have a soul. Well, we are a soul. We have a body, right? This body is essentially a rental car. And these beings, what they feed off of, what the energy they feed off of is this low vibrational energy. So whether it's stress, whether it's fear, whether it's contention, pain, grief, jealousy, rage, all of it, anxiety, that's what they feed off of. And so they manipulate and they toy with us and they do all these things to create this energy. Now, I don't know if this is true, but that kind of describes the world we live in. It kind of describes it pretty damn well. I mean, look what Tesla says. He says, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. What freaks me out the most is there's so many urban legends talking about these freaking reptilians. That motherfucker right there is not real, right? Like, yeah, everything that's going on in freaking Miami, like I think we can all agree that there's multiple dimensions, right? People having experiences on psychedelics where multiple people will take the same thing and they all go to another dimension and see the same thing. Like, how do you explain that? How do you explain that? Explain it to me, please. I'm going way too long with this and I haven't even freaking scratched the surface. But basically, we're just all here. Life is engineered to create this low vibrational energy. And what happens is when we die, when we go through that light tunnel, we're tricked into thinking, hey, you need to go back to Earth. There's more you need to learn, or there's karma you need to resolve, or, there's a higher purpose that you need to do. And we come back and it's the same thing. Listen, I'm a very spiritual person, very spiritual. I believe all of us as humans are connected. I believe you look at every major world religion and there's commonalities, and that it's because it stems from this eternal knowledge. But this freaking scared the crap out of me. Because what if it's all just engineered to trick us? Anyways, I can dive deeper if you guys are interested, but if you're not, whatever. I'll just be sitting up at night, not being able to sleep.
Oh, son.
It's amazing how every culture has a similar story. Like with the reptilian people, a similar looking or a similar type of reptilian. I don't think that's a coincidence. I don't think, that's too much alike for it to be a coincidence, And then with the reincarnation thing, they say, they always say you want to go towards the light. Yeah, you go towards light to come back here. That's exactly what happened. You go towards the light and you end up right back here. and that's the prison system. So we have a physical prison system in the world where you commit a crime, you go into prison, you go to jail, whatever the case may be. But when it comes to our souls, when we see that light and we figure, oh, that's the way to go, we end up right back here in this universal prison system. Pretty much is what it is. Like 607 Unc said, and shout out to him, man, 'cause he be speaking some facts. A lot of y'all may say he's crazy or whatever, and he may be tweaking or whatever, but bro, if you listen to him, man, he has common sense. He said even he be like, man, I died 5 times, gang. You know, and it's the light. You don't want to go towards the light. The light is what brings you back here. So when it's our time to go, I don't think I'm headed for the light, because I don't want to come back here. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to come back here. We dealt with enough grief, enough stuff. We deal with enough. We deal with stuff on a daily basis that we don't want to deal with. That's pushed upon us, our kids, and things like that. I don't think I want to come towards the light. I'm good. I think I'll stay in the darkness.
Check out this piece of chicken. This shit has human hair.
Growing out of the chicken skin.
Yo, that shit got
hair,
stubble on
not
it.
Feather. Look at how that's laying.
Yo, that's crazy.
Like no feather or nothing. That's a hair. And I even pulled a couple out. It don't look nothing like.
Yo, y'all ain't know human flesh was a real thing. They sell 3D printed meat. They sell cloned animals. They sell meat made of insects like mealworm. Y'all gotta stop trusting the food industry, fam. You don't know what they're selling you nowadays. Stay woke, fam.
Yeah, I ain't never seen no chicken like that with hair. I done seen a feather or two left on a chicken, but not no, like that's like stubble. Like when you shave and your hair starts to grow back and it'd be prickly, that's what that looks like. That's exactly what that looks like. Let me know in the comments what y'all think that was. You think that was hair? You think that was chicken? You think it was so-called chicken?
I ain't big on theories or nothing like that, but this one don't make sense. He told us about how he came up and fame and all that, but he ain't really tell us how he came up, like grew up and shit like that. For example, you go on Google and try to find out who this man's parents are, you cannot find a trace. I'm about to pull it up right now. Nah, this is Wikipedia. That's all. That's all you gonna find on Wikipedia. Go search for yourself. This is some random site. Little is known regarding Orlando Brown's parents and family. Like what? Another site. Where is his parents from? There is no information regarding where Orlando Brown's parents is from. And it keeps going. Cherry on top, father, mother, TBA. They do not know. Like, bro, can somebody let me know who this man's parents is? Like, or is this man like government made or something? Like, and he just broke out the Matrix or some shit.
You know, back in middle school when they taught us, it was 3 branches of the government. We forgot it when we got older. It's the judicial, the legislative, and executive. But all we know is the executive. That's the mayor or the governor and the president. Now, none of those 3 people make no laws. They just be checking them. The laws come to their desk and all they do is say no or yes to it. So when the news station tried to tell us that Barack Obama couldn't put us on, we was all salty at Obama when it was the Congress members all along. We gotta focus on the legislative branch. Yeah, they the ones that make the laws. Yeah, they the ones write how much food stamp money you get on the card. But when people that wanted to help us wanted the job, I know they probably lost. Cause we ain't even know their name, we ain't know their face, we ain't know it all. So the Congress or the State House, that's legislative, they make laws. So what we want from the president is what they do. Okay, y'all? See, they election every 2 years, but we don't ever even go to those. The Congress, they can raise minimum wage, but we ain't even really know it though. The State House make the court costs. So if the country failed, then you can't say it's them, it's your fault. Cause y'all ain't know to vote for Congress members that was for y'all. And they don't gotta leave after 4 years, and we just let them sit. See, they don't wanna tell you this, that
want you to focus on the president. Now the third branch is the judicial, that's judges. They the reason why John Crawford and Trayvon they had justice. If we gon' fix the U.S., we gotta start with them 2 letters. Me and you. Somebody told us that the government wanna keep us broke, but the only reason why those people in the government is cause we ain't vote. And I ain't talking about the president, I'm talking about the ones we ain't know. See, they was gonna try to keep it low, but it's gonna hurt them when they see the pro.
If we had to go to war with China right now, I think that they would absolutely fucking destroy us.
Really?
I really do.
They're military.
I think so, yeah. If you look at the kind of the overall average of what an American soldier is versus a Chinese soldier at this point, I think in many ways, the Chinese soldier is going to be in better shape, probably better funded. That's debatable by anybody. But the biggest thing is that their government is going to let them do whatever the fuck they need to do to win, and ours won't.
How big is China's military?
I mean, their budget still is not what ours is, but at this point, it's not even about money. Again, all the money in the world, if you have feckless leaders who are spineless and don't let you go be a fucking badass, doesn't matter how much money you have.
They don't have a lot of military bases. They've bought a lot of ports and stuff like that for trade with all the shit they're doing, you know, basically putting countries in debt to them. But we do have, I mean, our military bases are literally, you pull it up on a map, boom, 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 everywhere.
Well, I would say search submarines, ships, and fighter jets for the China-American comparison, because to me, at this point, that's really what matters more.
There are people living inside of the Earth. It's true. New information from NASA states that there is a large ocean beneath the Earth's crust, after scientists detected movement below the surface. Around 500 miles below, a large supply of water has been found stored in a rock named ringwoodite. But it gets even crazier. Scientists say that this rock is so huge that it contains 3 times the amount of water on the Earth's surface. This causes many to believe that there is more down there than we originally thought, possibly even civilizations. While the news of this discovery was over 10 years ago, it was never talked about. Is the government hiding this information from us? What do you think?
Just how rich and powerful is Lord Evelyn Rothschild? Historically, the Rothschild family wealth was hidden in underground vaults. The Rothschilds' secret financial records were never audited and never accounted for. Their family commissioned biographies give the illusion that their family fortune has dwindled, but researchers estimate their wealth at close to $500 trillion, more than half the wealth of the entire world. Besides their many castles, palace mansions, wineries, racehorses, and exotic resorts, the Rothschilds bought Reuters in the 1800s. Reuters then bought the Associated Press, which selects and delivers the same news stories to the entire world, day after day. They have controlling interest in 3 major television networks and easily avoid media attention since they own it. Until recently, they owned and operated England's Royal Mint and continue to be the gold agent for the Bank of England, which they also direct. They control the LBMA, London Bullion Market Association, where 30 to 42 million ounces of gold worth over $11 billion are traded daily. The Rothschilds earn millions weekly just on transaction fees alone. They also fix the world price of gold on a daily basis and profit from its ups and downs. Over the centuries, the Rothschilds have amassed trillions of dollars worth of gold bullion in their subterranean vaults and have cornered the world's gold supply. They own controlling interest in the world's largest oil company, Royal Dutch Shell. They operate phony charities and offshore banking services where the wealth of the black nobility in the Vatican is hidden in secret accounts at Rothschild Swiss banks, trusts, and holding companies.
Just want to let you know a good book to read if you're into them, the Rothschilds and things like that, or just into this type of stuff. It's called the Blue Beam Project. The Blue Beam Project. It talks about their beginnings and who's who and how they came up to get their wealth, if you don't know. And man, they not like necessarily strong armed, but They strong arm. They did what they had to do. Man, yeah. If you haven't read it, read it. It's called the Blue Beam Project. So yeah, check it out.
The New World Order has no legitimacy, and that we as a people are not afraid, and we are waking up to the robber barons and the big banksters who are looting this economy with the Federal Reserve. Well, what do you? I mean, the Rothschilds family did start the Federal. You know, they divided Europe first, took over Europe with Napoleon.
The Federal.
So you heard how you said they took over Europe and then Napoleon. Yeah. So what happened? I can't remember what it was, but they were funding one. I don't know if it was both sides or one side. No, they were funding one side. So what they did is they gave the one side all the money and whatever they needed to defeat Napoleon. And once Napoleon got defeated, they sent him off somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Then he ended up, I think he ended up escaping and coming back. And then they funded these people again to knock Napoleon off. And that's what they did. Yeah, man. Go read it. Go read the book. It's called The Blue Beam Project.
The Federal Reserve Act was passed in 1913. Only one president took action against it. President John F. Kennedy declared the to-close Rothschild Federal Reserve Bank. On June 4, 1963, Executive Order Number 11,110 was signed with the authority to strip the Rothschild Bank of its power to lend money to the United States government with interest. On November 22, 1963, only 5 months after the decree was signed, President Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas, immediately following the assassination. U.S. silver certificates mandated by the decree were taken out of circulation, and the original notes issued by the Federal Reserve remained the only currency of the United States of America. After extensive research and investigation through the Federal Register and the Library of Congress, it is concluded that Kennedy's executive order has never been repealed or amended.
Man, and reached the end of the video, you guys. Man, like I said, go check out that book, the Blue Beam Project. Man, yes, it's a pretty decent book. It really gives the Rothschilds history and how they really came up, and from their meager start, like the way they were living was crazy. Before they even came up, they were living like, yeah, they was in the ghetto for real. But man, also that chicken, that's wild. It makes you not want. Well, I don't eat chicken on the bone or anything like that neither. Well, nowadays I don't eat that stuff like that. I don't eat chicken from restaurants at all. I really don't eat like at fast food places really. Yeah, I appreciate you guys for joining. Man, don't forget to hit that bell so you're notified whenever we drop more content. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the like. Don't forget to comment. It really helps us out. We appreciate you guys. And until the next video, we'll see you guys. Peace.